Good evening, everyone. My name is Justin Contreras, and this is my talk on electrical engineering. The Professional Society of Electrical Engineering has an institute, and it is the Institute of Electronic Engineers. It is actually the world's largest organization of electrical engineers, and there's tons of benefits for joining them. So let's talk about why you should. All right, so one of the great things about this organization is they help you keep track on new innovations and technologies that come out on a pretty much daily basis. They have plenty of career resources to where they can help you find a job or any kind of thing like that you need. They have professional networking, so you can build any kind of rapport that you might want to help link up with actual professionals, and it'll help you get a job either faster or get you connected with other programs and organizations either around the world or just around the U.S. Continuing education, it'll actually help you find programs and classes so where you can actually improve on your degree or into areas of what you think are flawed. They also have great discounts, and it'll help you save money along the way, so it's pretty much a win-win on that one. And they also have plenty of humanitarian programs for helping out people all around the world, so it's really something to look forward to. So there's almost no downside to joining one of these organizations. It's very beneficial for anyone who would want to. Also, if you happen to be a student, you're also welcome just as much as any professional would be. And right now you have a Future 50 coupon code that you can use. And I have the link in the description right here in case anyone decides to go. Alright, now they have, for electrical engineering, there's tons of colleges available more or less on the east side of Texas, a little bit on the north and west side, but they have at least 65 schools with electrical engineer programs, 42 schools with associate's degree programs, 36 schools with bachelor's degree programs, and they also have master's degree programs that have for around 25 schools around Texas, and even 23 schools that offer a PhD program. So there's a lot of options for everyone who happens to get any kind of electrical engineering field that they want, and hopefully everyone finds what they need. Now, for electrical engineer subfields, there's actually quite a bit. Some of those things include anything from marine uses to aerospace to you have the railroad industry, you have just regular like refrigerator repair, like AC repair, just any kind of construction work, type of electronic stuff like that. You have anything from small like that to bigger things like as in robotics, and it's honestly pretty broad. And once you just say electrical engineering, you kind of more or less have to use the subfields just because of how many options there are on the like just in general. There are there's all kinds of jobs available around the world, especially today, because there is a national labor shortage right now, and so might as well take advantage of that while you can. Now, in order to get your engineering license, the National Society of Professional Engineers actually has they help build the rules and who's supposed to or how you're supposed to do it, and they do direct you to go to your state's licensure in order to find out what you're supposed to do. And for the Texas Department of Licensing Regulation, they have these 4 steps, which is become an engineer, gain professional experience, and then you can learn your state's licensure, and then you can get your FE test out of the way, and then after that you get your PE test out of the way, and that's when you'll get your license. So quite a bit of little steps, but hopefully you'll get it in no time. Now, electrical engineering summed up. My little definition of electrical engineering would be if it deals with electricity, we're the ones to call, because anything that has electrical components that are attached to it or that go through it, we're pretty much the main persons behind of why it's designed that way. More technical definition for electrical engineers would be that they design, develop, test, and manage the manufacturing of electrical equipment and systems such as electronic motors, smartphones, and power generation equipment. So that's honestly a pretty broad definition to where like there's literally sky's the limit on that one. honestly. Now, a few big challenges that electrical engineers face today, one of them is renewable energy. And one of the things that they could do is improve on its flaws that it might have, which is it not being as effective as a regular nuclear power plant would be, or even a coal power plant, which coal is like completely horrible. And if you have renewable energy such as wind and solar power, that would be like a lot better for the environment. So in terms of finding how to get rid of those things, you might as well cut the snake's head and trying to deal with that, as in improve on these renewable energies that we have right now, and then you'll be able to go to other places in other countries that don't have as easy access to oil and coal and even nuclear power and kind of technologies, and plugging in a couple solar panels would honestly save everyone's day and time, and it's just a lot more budget friendly in general, and just there's no downsides to it. Now, for electrical engineering, there's tons of innovations that have happened over the past 50 years. One of them happens to be cameras. And the first digital camera that was ever captured was created by this electrical engineer named Steven Sasson on the top right. Invented in 1975, was actually an 8-pound camera that was able to capture images digitally and store them instead of being stored onto a piece of film like all cameras were back then. And you can see the innovation of what he did, how it evolved into what we have today, as in our cameras and smartphones, and how small those are. They're not even only a few grams, honestly, and it's pretty big step. And you can honestly see that with a lot of other engineers, type of innovations that we have today, that in another 50 years it could be even better. For all we know, it could be invisible. I don't know. So in summary, the world of electrical engineering can be summed up in a variety of ways, but there's next to no limit in its potential to innovate. Although we might have known about electricity since the first lightning bolt that struck the sky, it still ceases to prove itself time and time again. As the world changes, so do the uses of electricity in the most amazing ways possible. What we might find useless and uninspiring today may help find a brighter future for such things in another life, as electricity has brought to us. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, I'll be right here. And here's my resource pages. And thank you so much. Have a good one.